Blake versus Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively, the trial that's never going to start. There's more information coming out from an actor who played the OBGYN in the movie, and he is claiming, her account of this in this case that she's brought up is not what I experienced. So just to sum it up, she claimed that the actor who played the OBGYN was only just Justin's best friend and not a legitimate actor. And he's like, I am a legitimate actor. I'm a working actor. And I went to UCLA. So, and I have a BFA. So there's that. And she also sort of cited that in the scene, she felt very exposed and humiliated and uncomfortable because he was very close to her, as Bradley likes to call it, Clams Casino. But he's like, she had on like biker shorts and this pregnancy belly and some other shorts and some other, whatever other undergarments. She wasn't nude or even close to being nude. So he's not sure where this humiliation came from. And she also states in the case that she repeatedly asked for like a towel or something to cover her in between, cuts. And he's like, that didn't happen. She seemed completely fine with everything during the shoot. So not really sure why I'm included in this. So
yeah, it's a lot. I mean, the reason we're talking about it today is, of course, he's saying these things publicly, which do counter the statements that she's made through her attorney that go way back. So it seems like this is just a further he said, she said scenario where they're going to ultimately, if they do end up in court, they will have to provide, I would imagine, witnesses who sign off on either one of their positions. Because if you read both accounts, one sounds super slimy. Mm-hmm. That is Blake's telling of the story that, basically he got his friend to get all up in her business. Yeah. And to his account, he was like, so she was wearing like a ton of clothes, prosthetics. This was very above board and totally according to the way that we normally do things. And ultimately, the jury's going to have to decide who they believe, and or they'll have to provide some people who can corroborate like the account. But to me, somebody is not telling the truth. Right. Because both of those accounts can't be true.
And he says he will testify. So it's getting crazy up in here, folks.
Yeah, if they ever testify, which.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to settle?
Luck. Well, yeah, I still think the odds are that they're not going to trial.
Oh, okay. We'll have to see. We won't be included, though. I know that. It's not going to be on Core TV or anything. But
included in the trial? They're going to sue us?
No, not us.
Man, that'd be fun.
No, it wouldn't. What are you doing?
Throw us in there.
Michael.
I don't think that our company's lawyers would
please just
defend us. They'd be like, they're on their own.
Remove it from the YouTube channel, but you should like and subscribe to that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You should. Let's get it started. Do some blind items today. We'll begin with this one here. This A-list TV actor / producer / writer has been very wise in keeping his personal life private. It's allowed him and his higher on the list current co-star to really lean into the dating rumors for an upcoming project, even though he knows better than to go down that road. This A-list TV actor / producer / writer has been very wise in keeping his personal life private, which has allowed him to keep this, or for him and his higher on the list co-star, to lean into some dating rumors for an upcoming project. He knows better, though, than to go down that road.
So his co-star is a female?
His co-star is a female. He is A-list TV actor / producer / writer, and has a higher on the list co-star. And they're leaning into some dating rumors.
Have we talked about this publicationship behavior?
We might have hinted at it. I don't think we've gone all in and really discussed it fully.
All right.
And he stars in this as well as produces it?
Is it something that's a brand new project, or is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
TV?
Yeah.
I believe it's actually a movie.
Okay.
But this individual is A-list, mostly TV. He has done some movies, but mostly TV actor / writer / producer.
It's not John Hamm.
It is not. Foreign born, I should also add.
Foreign born.
Yeah, have that included in the blind item. That wasn't in this particular case.
Are we aware of the movie?
We're starting to become aware of it based on
this one blind item.
the two of the but just the two of them. The way they're leaning into this a little bit.
Okay, so it isn't the baby reindeer guy.
No,
okay,
that's Richard Gadd.
Richard Gadd. Okay,
and I can say he is not only starring, he is co-writing, and it is indeed a movie that is going to be on a streamer.
Okay.
A movie that's going to be on a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's mostly TV, but he's doing this movie thing.
And when I say TV, he's mostly streamer, like series.
Streaming
so
guy.
Traditionally, what's now TV?
Was he in Game of Thrones?
He was not.
Okay.
Foreign born, A- list, mostly TV actor / writer / producer.
Okay.
Wow. Foreign born.
And I will say this upcoming movie that he's doing with a higher on the list co-star is on a streamer that he doesn't normally work with.
Okay.
Because everything else he's done has pretty much been on a different streamer.
Is Paramount one of these?
Nope.
Oh.
Is it Netflix?
That's the upcoming project is going to be a movie coming to Netflix.
All right. So Joseph Quinn is not the answer.
Nope. So he traditionally works with a different streamer, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's go through.
Max.
Nope.
Peacock. Hulu. BritBox. Acorn TV.
Paramount Plus.
I said that.
What is left?
What else is left? It's that wonderful Apple TV Plus.
I was going to say, it's what I had for lunch.
You had Apple TV Plus for lunch?
He had an apple, a TV dinner.
Yeah, it was an app. It's Apple TV experience. So this person traditionally works on Apple TV stuff.
Oh, what's his name? Ted Lasso.
Well, that's one of the shows.
Jason Sudeikis?
No.
Oh, it's the other guy.
Jason Segel.
No,
that's the right other show.
Shrinking.
Oh, Harrison Ford.
No.
Brett
Goldstein.
There you go. Do you know his upcoming project and who he's been working on it with?
He has been working on a project called...
Well, if you haven't, you're going to see it soon.
I don't know.
Because it's somebody who, despite this individual, her very high fame, her FBR is off the charts. And for those just joining us, FBR is your fame to blind ratio. She's a massive superstar in her own right, but her blind item fame to blind ratio is even higher.
Is she foreign born also?
No.
Oh.
We talk about her maybe more than we've talked about anybody on this show in the last
Blake Lively?
year. Well, in this show's existence, this might be the person we've talked about most.
What?
The bear?
What female?
This show's existence, meaning since we've been doing Blinded by the Item, we've talked about her more than any actress.
Probably.
Oh.
And she's a little more than just an actress.
What?
She's
Jennifer
a singer?
Lopez?
Yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, I promise you will, because they are leaning into this upcoming publicationship.
Yes.
Brett Goldstein has been very wise at keeping his personal life private. He has been linked to
I don't like this.
He's been linked to Beth Ryland, I believe is her name. She's a comedian who they've been rumored to be dating for like 5 years. They've been very quiet about the relationship, though, which has served Brett Goldstein well, because right now he is leaning into the publicationship with Jennifer Lopez, as the two of them are all over the set. Go ahead and Google it. They are shooting an upcoming movie called Office Romance. It is a rom-com on Netflix. Jennifer Lopez knows a thing or two about publicationships.
I feel like I just said this week that watch this space. It's publicationship time, and I forget why, because there was something else that just happened where it was
she went to see Othello. Othello.
Oh no, it was after
Broadway?
that. Yeah, I mean, I remember that, but there was something recently she did, and I was like, I think it's time. I feel like we just talked about it. Anyway, the moral of the story is I don't like this because I really like Brett Goldstein and I don't want him to get
And
caught up.
you don't like J-Lo?
Well, no, I don't want him to get caught up in this publicationship business.
Well, hopefully the last line of the blind item is correct, where it says he has allowed him and Jennifer Lopez to lean into the dating rumors, but he knows better than to go down that road.
Because he's got an actual girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
she loves it.
It's been pretty highly publicized what happens when you date Jennifer Lopez.
Oh. Mm.
Well, she loves you
Don't
forever
fall
and
into
ever.
that trap.
Yeah.
All right, you guys got that one. Nicely done.
That came out of left field.
Which is good.
Yeah.
That's why we like them.
Exactly.
This one maybe not coming out of left field. Another day, another example of why this A-list actress is a complete hypocrite, and the rules only apply to everyone else, but not her.
Oh.
Another day, another example, and guess what? This isn't what you're thinking. Of why the A-list actress is a complete hypocrite. The rules apply to everyone else other than her. It's the right person you're thinking of, just not the situation you're thinking of.
So it's Blake Lively, but it's not
not
what we just said.
Yeah.
It's not what you just talked about, and I don't think you're going to get to this one here, the rest of it. So let me.
Oh, good. Just go ahead and fill it in then.
I will. Blake Lively. This is a blind here about Blake, but have you heard the name Jed Wallace yet?
Jed Wallace.
Sounds like he's in a jug band.
Well, old Jed Wallace, the jug band player, is in Texas. He was hired
Obviously.
by the Justin Baldoni team to monitor social media of what is being talked about and not being talked about from the Blake Lively side of things.
Interesting.
He is now one of the people who Blake Lively is suing as a part of the lawsuit. Jed Wallace, though, has said, I was just hired to monitor. I did no sort of influencing. I am going to countersue you for defamation.
Wow.
Whoa.
Well,
To which Blake then says, okay, I'm going to countersue that with an 800-page report and lawsuit against you. And by the way, Jed, he is independently trying to go after Blake Lively. So there's a chance he doesn't have the ability and the lawyer fees, or the ability to pay the lawyer fees to go through all of this counter whatever suit.
okay, so I've got lots of questions.
Yeah.
You probably don't have all the answers, but to me, first of all, can you countersue a countersuit? What? Then where does it end?
Yeah, and
This
then I'm
is
going to
true.
countersue.
Just have 30
your
countersuits.
Countersuit.
Also, if we could get him a real lawyer, if that is if what you said is true, because it's actually a lower bar to try to prove that she defamed him because he's not a public figure, and that bar is very low, or at least the law is a little bit more amenable to people
you're
who've
right.
been mentioned,
Well, we haven't got to the meat of this yet.
which is
In that 800-page whatever it
800.
was, countersuit, whatever this 800-page thing was, she outs his personal address as well as a medical condition that this man is suffering from. Keep in mind, she's the one who made a huge deal about, hey, let's make sure we don't have too much personal information getting out with the Justin Baldoni and her lawsuit.
there was
remember?
a whole protection order in place
Oh my gosh.
at her request, or her attorney's request.
Yes.
Oof. If
What
that's
are they
true, that is.
doing? And who has time to write up 800 pages?
Well, ChatGPT does it, so.
Oh my gosh, lawyers use ChatGPT now. They just talk into their phone and then it just whips out. Please give me an 800
I mean, it would.
page document.
It literally probably would.
Oh my gosh.
No, I do have to give a shout out because this was a blind item, and I was like, I'm lost in this blind item. And then
It's a lot. I don't blame you.
Another YouTuber, Zach Peter, actually just plain Zach says where you can follow. Basically broke it all down, and I was like, okay, thank you. You cleared this all up for me. I appreciate that.
Okay.
So there you go. Just a quick shout out there. That's where you can get the full explanation there. But Jed Wallace, another name that I thought we were going to be hearing tied to Blake Lively today, but instead we go this other direction because yet another person comes out and claims she might not have been truthful.
So do you think that since she mentioned the things like his personal information, do you think that he now has a case?
Well, I think he claims he had a case prior to that.
But now do you think the case is stronger and would be easier for him?
I have no idea. I'm not.
I just hate the fact that the people with more money end up winning.
Well, that's why I
Because they can
said,
afford
like,
the legal
if
fees.
we could get somebody who has actual resources to, I mean, and again, the people close to Justin Baldoni, you'd think they'd be communicating because this would probably help their case somewhat. But anyway, if he can get a lawyer to actually represent him, then he'd have a very good chance. You'd think, if those allegations are true, obviously, that it is a lower bar to prove defamation against a private person versus a celebrity. So I would imagine, but again, just because he's right or just because he's, got a case doesn't mean that he'll be successful, and maybe he'll have to settle. Who knows?
We I'm putting something in motion, putting something in the air. We need a victory lap sounder.
Yeah.
Do it.
Something to talk about because,
Pew, 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 pew.
if you need another reminder about why you should like and subscribe and tell all your friends about Blinded by the Item, it's because we're first to tell you stuff that you're going to learn down the road.
Could be way down the road.
Like when we told you 6 months ago about this A-list Nepo baby actress / singer / model / director and this A-list actor even back when they were hooking up with their exes. In fact, I actually have the audio because, it's one thing to claim it. It's another thing to bring receipts.
That beautiful bean footage.
Here's a blind item from October 30th of 2024. Yesterday's announcement was just the first shoe to drop. The A-list Offspring actress has gone a little too method with her current role, and that is going to break up another relationship, this time with an A-list model / actress and an A-list actor. So that was the blind item.
Oh my
the end of
gosh.
October.
Which, by the way, it's amazing how much deeper your voice has gotten.
I actually was sick that day. If you
that would
listen
explain.
further, I had a cold when we did that particular show, which is why I sounded a little like Kermit the
I think you went through puberty since.
Sorry. But that was October 30th. And again, you heard that blind item. First off, you think you can solve the A-list Nepo baby actress / singer / model / director and an A-list actor?
Yes.
Even back when they were hooking up with their A-list exes. What do you got?
Zoe Kravitz and
Austin Butler. And then you've got Channing Tatum in there and Kaya Gerber.
So, let's reel back again. October 30th, we had that blind item. And we said, this is just the first shoe to drop. Channing Tatum and Zoe breaking up. Because Zoe's gone a little too all in with Austin Butler while they were filming the movie Caught Stealing.
Yeah.
That was a blind item from the end of October. January 7th, it gets announced that Austin Butler and Kaya Gerber are breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, April 9th, what are we finding out? Where there's smoke, there's fire. And apparently there's fire between Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler. Or at least the relationship. Gods want us to believe it.
Yeah, and Channing Tatum, it seemed like there was a little overlapping there with the Zoe and Channing breaking up, and then Austin Butler right in the mix of them getting close. So maybe that's why they broke up.
Yeah, it's always hard to know the timeline because it's like we don't know what we know when we know it or whatever.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
But it is not unreasonable to think that perhaps somebody was not being honest.
Yeah.
Not just with us, but with their significant others.
Now, Channing did beat his ex to the punch because, of course, we've been seeing him all over with Inca Williams. As the two of them have been a pair here for about a month. But
well, and it's interesting because this whole
I see it in
Austin...
my notes here. Go ahead.
What? You see what?
I see it in my notes. I have Austin Butler and then an ex through Kaya Gerber and then Zoe Kravitz.
Look at that.
There.
Someone screenshot those notes.
I was going to say...
Oh, my God.
Those revealed your notes
like,
for everybody.
I hope I didn't.
Those ransom notes. Is there anything? What, you
Is
got
there anything
anything
else? I mean, that's just one of 3 pages. There's also this one. And then there's, that one's not too long. And then I have a notebook.
So, again, you heard it here first 6 months ago, but now I guess the rest of the world is catching up.
Yeah,
Like and
again,
subscribe.
I mean, it is not uncommon to see this behavior. So kudos to you for remembering. Because when I saw this story, I was like, it as often is the case, as I choke on my...
You're going into Kermit mode.
As often as
Speaking of puberty, it was only a few years late. As is often the case, like I can feel the blind item.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this is a thing, but now I need
feel
somebody to
it.
remember the details because I can't connect the dots. But you did a wonderful job.
You don't choose a good blind item. A good blind item chooses you.
Wow. Do we need to have like a yoga retreat?
Namaste. Right here. Like and subscribe.
Blind item yoga retreat.
This Oscar-nominated actor is broke, which is why he's being creepy as hell and doing reality television. This Oscar-nominated actor is broke, which is why he's, maybe doing reality television and also happens to be being creepy as hell.
Is it Mickey Rourke?
Oh, yeah.
He's doing reality TV.
He's doing Celebrity Big Brother, but
we talked
I think
about
he just
that.
got kicked off.
He did not quite get kicked off, but he probably should. If you haven't seen some of the comments that he made in regards to JoJo Siwa and the back and forth that the two of them had, it was very problematic, very troubling. But according to the blind item, the Oscar-nominated actor Mickey Rourke is broke, which is why he's doing reality TV and is being creepy as hell. I will say, Big Brother, because this is Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother UK. And we have talked way more about this show than we've ever talked about Big Brother around here. So they're doing a good job from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, and they always do, which is why I think they need to show that show here so that we can enjoy it.
Right, because it's most of our stars.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, a lot of America, but even the ones that are like British stars, it's just a fun, like it's putting celebrities in that space just amps everything up and makes us pay way more attention.
And
just like Celebrity Mole back in the day.
Oh,
yeah.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin.
I just
Anderson Cooper.
I just started watching the first season of Traitors last night.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good.
You're finally in? Like, you haven't seen any of them?
No.
Oh, my. So happy
Love it.
for you.
I am. I'm happy for me.
I actually get jealous of people who are watching shows that I love so much.
For the first time.
For the first time.
Reliving the experience.
Can I watch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I'm only on the second episode.
Love it.
Proud of you.
I am. Speaking of that big award, I guess now this former A-list actor can forever claim that he would have won the big award if it wasn't for outside forces. Of course, his actions are what led to those outside forces. But again, he's always the victim. I guess this former A-list actor can forever claim he would have won the big award if it wasn't for outside forces. But then again, his actions are what led to those outside forces, which of just another example of how he's, quote, the victim.
Was he nominated?
He was not.
Okay. Was he cast?
What do you mean, Kat?
Like, is this someone who said I was supposed to be cast as Leonardo?
He was cast, and he was cast, and he was in a movie.
Okay.
But he just didn't feel like he got what he should have for the role.
He's claiming some outside things led to him not the movie and the role not being appreciated for what it should have been, even though those outside things were all his fault.
Did he commit a crime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not Timothée Chalamet.
No.
Okay.
Jonathan Majors?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Jonathan Majors, woe is me. He is now going on to podcasts and going out saying, I would have won an Oscar for Magazine Dreams, but, obviously that ship sailed because, domestic violence.
Those things.
What?
Oh.
Okay, can we also talk about Keke Palmer?
Oh, yes.
Because remember, this was a subject of a blind.
Yeah.
That she was essentially like putting her reputation on the line by having him on her podcast. Well, she has since pulled that episode. Or at least they didn't even, it's not pulled, but the headline that I read and the very little part of the actual story that I read said they had an episode ready to go with that interview and decided not to publish it. Did I get that right?
Wise.
Well, yeah.
Good idea.
But I was like, oh, there we go with the blinds calling it out again for what we all saw.
Yeah,
before it happened.
Keke Palmer kills off the podcast with domestic abuser Jonathan Majors. That's the big headline there. It's a good call. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Because
double victory lap.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I guess we don't need a sounder because it's
the whole show is just one big victory lap.
Chariots of Fire? I mean, I don't know. That's a very old reference.
Something with Nancy Grace.
Oh.
I don't know.
How about
we'll come up with something.
How about To Look for Porn Day?
Yeah, I don't know that
song.
I love her singing about porn, but I'm thinking of something a little snappier.
I'll find something.
Well, you guys absolutely crushed it today. We ran through the blind items. We even did a little bit of a victory lap, heard a previous show. You can like and subscribe and listen to all of our previous shows because a lot of those are still in there. And, some of it is going to tell you the future.
Can I also just another big shout out to the comments because you guys are so in it to win it in the comments. And I love it. The comments are great. Like people have things to say. Like intelligent, smart, funny things to say.
Yeah.
And it's engaging. And it's not like sometimes in the comments, it gets a little, I'm saying elsewhere on the internet, it gets a little trolly. But I feel like our family, our Blinded by the Item family is very fun and respectful in the comments. So kudos, keep it up.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
The blind items are trolly enough for everybody.
Yes.
So
It's like, can't we just have some fun?
Comments. I love it.
That's right.
Exactly.
So there you go. You guys
tell us
crushed it.
things that we don't even know. We're like, really? I mean, there's some video that somebody was mentioning about Jason Momoa. I haven't seen that video, but I'm going to try to look it up. Have you seen it?
Well, we'll have time to do that after the show, but weekdays on the radio, you can listen to us do this program. You can also download us wherever you get your podcasts, and you can leave reviews there as well. We'd love it. And of course, forward the podcast to your friends, tell them about it, or you could just watch the whole thing, like and subscribe on YouTube. Our channel is called
Blinded by the Item.